Yeah, welcome everybody, and thanks for coming today. Super exciting day for the enterprise, for our club, for Seattle rein-fc. I have had the opportunity for a long time now to watch Mia from the time she was a youth player in San Diego through her college career at UCLA. Again, I say this all the time, I got to see a lot of these players up close and personal, not on the best end some of the times. But the last time I saw Mia in person play competitively was when she was playing for Laura in the U20 CONCACAF qualifiers down in the Dominican Republic. I was there with CONCACAF working as a consultant, and Mia was the show. And she is a tremendous young player, a little bit older than she was then, but still very young in her career. Obviously, she took a path that I found intriguing, heading to Mexico first to play with Tigres and then to Chelsea. And we're thrilled to be able to now say that for a significant period of time, she'll be wearing our jersey here in Seattle. So big welcome to Mia.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Leslie. If you do have a question, please raise your hand. We have Sarah here. She'll be passing around a mic. So we'll take questions now. We'll start here with Susie.
Hi, Mia. Susie with Sounder at Heart. Can you hear me?
It's on.
It sounds like you had potentially a lot of options right now in your career, or maybe ones that you were considering. What made Seattle so compelling for you, and also maybe was so compelling to sign a multi-year contract?
Yeah, my journey's been kind of all over the place with going to Mexico and then going to Chelsea, and I definitely have so much experience with lifestyle and playing wise with world-class players and world-class coaches. And what intrigued me the most was definitely the coach, Laura Harvey. We had a connection with the U20s. We did very well, and sadly got just dumped because of COVID. We still say that we would win the World Cup if
Yeah, we would.
we would have won for sure. But when it comes to her coaching style, the way that she coaches, it brought the best out of me, and I knew that immediately with the short time that I had with her. And she gave me the confidence to be my absolute best, and that definitely intrigued me to come to Seattle. As well as it's an amazing young team. I knew I wanted to go to a team that is family oriented. I mean, I had a great chance at the U23 camp to kind of pick people's brains, like, oh, which team is good and what's going on. And they didn't know that I was leaning more towards Seattle, but I was definitely picking the Reigns players' heads, and they're just like, it's amazing there when it comes to the culture. Everyone is like family. We push each other. Obviously, with the call-ups with the U.S. Women's National Team and the U23s, there's talent, and that's something that also intrigued me as well. I need to go on a team that will push me in training every day. So a lot of different things got me here.
And just a very quick unrelated follow-up from me. You like fishing. Your nickname is not just tied to Fishel.
Yeah.
What kind of fishing do you like to do? And have you kind of been starting to explore options here?
Definitely. I fish salt, freshwater. I was fishing when I was like 5, 6 with my dad, so I just have great memories with him. And he just taught me how to spearfish in Bermuda as well, so that's another way of fishing as well, which was awesome. And I already talked to Shay Holmes about, getting on a boat, getting on a charter and fishing. I talked to our ATC about crabbing. I love the water and I love fishing. So yeah, I definitely already dipped my toes in that.
Hey Mia, you mentioned being at the, I was just pressing that. Now is it working?
I don't think mine's not working either.
Okay.
I'm just going for it.
So we're just gonna keep going. So you mentioned being at the U23 camp. Reports had emerged like a month ago that you were potentially looking for this move, and part of that might be about getting caps with the U.S. Women's National Team ahead of the 2027 World Cup. Did any of your decision have to do with the Reigns' recent success getting those call-ups for young players like Jordan Bugg and Sam Meza, and obviously the other players you were with at the U23 camp?
I wouldn't say necessarily like that kind of made me choose Seattle Reign. I think that I was honestly looking for like the best club. I opened up to everyone. Whatever's the best, I will always, go with my gut and what I think is the best for myself. Obviously, it is nice to see players like Bug and Maddie and Sam going to U23's camp, and I think just it adds the value to it that I was already thinking about. Other than that, so definitely helps, but I guess it wasn't my main kind of thing.
And then obviously there's a lot of understandable hype around this move. How do you feel about that sort of pressure and expectation? How do you handle that? And then Laura, on your side, how do you sort of help manage those expectations?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I've been having pressure since I left UCLA going to Tigres. I mean, that was like, I think the biggest backlash. They weren't expecting that move. Obviously, the league wants, homegrown players there. So I'm used to the pressure. I'm used to showing up in big moments, and I think that's who I am as a player. Like, I want to be in the big games. I want to be the one the ball gets to when it's the last minute of the game. So it's just part of my DNA, and this is no different.
All right, just a friendly reminder, too, for media members, if you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll have Sarah bring a mic over to you. And also just a reminder to maybe say your name, introduce yourself and your outlet. Jada, we'll take you next. Sorry.
About pressure, right? Yeah, I think the thing that we do at this club is, and me and Mia have had this conversation, is we're invested in Mia for the long term, right? And if she can hit the ground running and come in and be unbelievable from day one, great. But I think we know, one, she's on a journey. Two, and we've had this conversation, Mia's potential is so high, and now it's about the journey of getting it where we all believe it can be. And that's why the investment is not just about tomorrow, it's about the long term, and showing up for what that looks like. And I think the internal side of it is, it doesn't really matter who you are in our environment. Like Mia's already touched on it, she's only been here a couple of days, and it's that family environment. Everyone opens up to everyone else, no matter if you've been here for 1 minute or you've been here 13 years. It tends to be the same outcome for everybody, and that's what we want everyone to feel like. So hopefully we can continue that environment and keep that culture going.
Hi, Jada Evans with the Seattle Times. Nice to meet you.
Me too.
I wanted to ask a little bit about Chelsea. Did you feel that you wouldn't be able to grow the same, I guess, there? Or can you kind of talk a little bit about that experience with you?
Yeah, Chelsea was an amazing experience. Obviously, Emma and Denise recruited me there, and I was quickly developing my game, just being around world-class players every single day. Training, it's what every footballer wants to do, and especially it was my dream club growing up, so it was amazing. Unfortunately, I had my ACL injury, and that was really hard. I learned so much about being a professional and taking care of your body, strengthening it, and I feel like me as a player is night and day. Like, I'm quicker, I'm stronger, I'm mentally stronger as well. So now it's about being back, and I feel like on a team like Chelsea, you don't get as many opportunities, and I feel like even though I was doing really well and doing all that I could, just wasn't enough for the coach at the time, and I wanted to obviously be on a team that values me and respects me and knows my talent and will use it. So I also want to be on the U.S. Women's National Team. I know how big playing time is, so that definitely helped with my decision to leave Chelsea.
And then you mentioned the ACL. Where do you feel that you're at right now in terms of game fitness kind of level?
Yeah, I've been ready to go since January, but I didn't play until March because there's no rush. There's never a rush. When you rush, bad things can happen. We all know that, and I'm in it for the long run. So we're just continue to grow my fitness and get back to being fully fit. But I feel good. My knee feels good, and I'm happy.
My name is Mel, and I'm with Zuma and the Royal Guard. I know we have a lot of new players that are coming in, but what do you hope that you will get and take away from someone like Barnes and some of our other players who have been on our team and been around a really long time?
Could you repeat that question again, please?
Yeah, so we have some players that have been in our team a really long time, like Lou Barnes,
Yes.
and some other players that are quite older and have been around a long time. What do you hope to gain from working and playing alongside them?
Oh yeah, I'm like a sponge, and anywhere I go, like, you naturally want to go towards one that's been there longest. And Lou has definitely, we've texted and we've connected, and she's telling me also how we play, and even before Laura started talking to me about it, and it's just that kind of seniority that you just kind of gravitate towards, and she wants to bring me in as quickly as possible, because the quicker that I get used to the style of play, the team is when I'll perform the best. And it's been like amazing just to connect with those older players and kind of gel together off the field.
Okay, and then next we'll take Charles right up here in the front. We're just bringing the mic around.
Hi, Charles Hammaker with Circle Seattle Sports. Obviously, you're no stranger to the West Coast. You mentioned Laura and why she was a big part of wanting to come here. What did you know about Seattle and the area before? Maybe speaking with Laura and some of the other players, as well as the history of this club. Obviously, kind of building off that with Lou Barnes, but there's so much history with this club.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on the area and what you know about the club.
Yeah, I heard that it's rainy in the winters and it's cold. And I heard that it's really nice in the summer. And I'm like, okay, that sounds like London. And I know London's like pretty bad, so I think I'm fine with the weather here. It's very naturey here. I love the nature. I love going outdoors on like trails. Obviously, like I said, I love fishing. I mean, this is a big fish scene here in Seattle. My dad, he was a military brat, so his dad was in, I don't know where, but somewhere around Seattle, and he's like, you're absolutely gonna love it there. Like, I quickly fell in love with the city and the green and everything like that, as well as the sports culture over here too, as like that WNBA, the Storm. I've been following it this season, these past couple seasons, so it's cool that we have a WNBA team here, as well as MLS team and MLB. So I love to be in the scene with sports. What else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now with Seattle as a city.
And then, and obviously you've been busy over the course of the past few months, but have you kept track of what the Reign have been doing? Obviously, this year is a bigger bounce back from what happened last season. Are you excited to maybe help push the club over, the edge a little bit, because there have been a lot of tight results throughout the course of this year?
Yeah, definitely. I was fully focused with Chelsea all the way up to like the last game, end of May. I've been definitely watching some games, and they're playing exciting soccer. Like I said, it's a young team trying to play, and I know that I could bring something different, and whatever way Laura wants, that's the trust that we have. I'm, multidimensional. It just depends on who we're playing, how we're setting up. I think that I can gel in multiple ways, so I'm excited to explore that with Laura and see, what works best with this team.
And then we'll take Bella again.
Remember to introduce myself this time. Hi, my name's Bella Munson. I work at Equalizer. Just wondering, how long have you been in Seattle so far? It looked like you trained. But just how long have you been here? What have you done so far?
Sneaked her in, Bella.
I've been here for like 2 days. Like I just arrived. And what I've been doing, I've been getting into a new apartment. I've been unpacking. I've been trying to learn everyone's names on the team. I'm just trying to get that down. Like that's like the worst. The most awkward thing is not knowing someone's name. So I'm like, okay, I need to like get it down. Yeah, that's what I've been doing so far.
Do you have things you're like most excited to do? Because you're here during the nicest weather possible. Like this is peak Seattle weather. Do you have things you're excited to do because it's sort of in a break before return to NWSL play?
Yeah, I'm just kind of leaning towards my teammates on this one. Like wherever they go, I'll be there. That's just kind of the what you do as new players. You just want to be with your teammates and grow that connection off and on the field.
And then for you, Laura, obviously Mia's very capable of playing as sort of a true number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Had also talked while she was at Chelsea about sort of growing up more as an attacking midfielder. Just where do you sort of envision her fitting into this lineup? Obviously you have players who have to come back, you have to fit everyone back in.
Yeah.
But what is your sort of vision for how she fits into this attack?
Yeah, I think obviously with the formation we've predominantly played this year, forwards can play either centrally or a little bit lower, dependent on what we see from the opponent and what we think needs to work in that game. We've sometimes played with a lone 9, we've sometimes played with 2 9s higher and a lone 10, and we spoke about it a little bit today on working out which one suits, and it might be dependent on who Mia's playing with, who the opponent is, but what I love is we've got that flexibility, right? And We've got a really tough 12 weeks that are about to hit us come August 1st. And knowing that we've got a roster that can really compete game in, game out is really exciting.
All right, and then we'll take Susie, and then Jeremiah, and then Jada. Go ahead, Susie.
This question's for Laura, maybe Leslie too, if you want to. We've obviously gotten to see Mia score goals and all of the stuff that she brings to the field. But as someone who's coached her, what are some of the intangibles that maybe we don't see that you think is going to make her really successful long term here?
Yeah, she touched on it before. I think obviously we worked with each other in a very short amount of time, but played a lot of games in that period. And I think just the flexibility to learn really quickly was something that stood out. I think she described herself as a sponge. I would echo that. And a drive, a real drive to want to be the best she possibly can be. And when you're working with a player like that, you just lean towards that, because I want everyone to be the best they can possibly be. And if we can help develop her in any way possible, we want to do that. So I think they're the big tangible things. And I think the other thing about me is a great person, already fitting in with the team straight away. Obviously a few friendships from different pathways, cares about things off the field that I think really link to this city as well. So I'm excited to see how she can really put herself in the community, because I know they're going to love her.
I just, from a playing standpoint, what I've observed with Mia is a uniqueness in ability to finish, and that's to be that person and to want that on you is unique in our game. And those are the type of players you're always looking for, is the ones that want it on them all the time. And even as a young player, she's not shied away from being the go-to, and she finishes in different ways. That's the thing. She's not a predictable player that anyone's going to be able to look at and say, oh, this is how you take Mia out of the game, or this is how. She'll find a way to make you think differently. And that to me is really, really exciting in our game. And she's one of those players I feel over time our fans are going to learn to be on the edge of the seat anytime she's in and around the box. And the sellies are solid.
Jeremiah, Sounder at heart. I'm just curious, what did you learn about yourself, and how did your game sort of evolve by playing in Mexico, by playing in England, and how that kind of changed your trajectory as opposed to going straight into the NWSL?
Yeah, it's natural, going from college to pro, it's already a natural jump with the speed and, how the different leagues play. It's definitely different from NWSL to WSL and Mexico. And I feel like that experience has enriched me as a player in just different situations. I can bring something different in the WSL just by my experience of being in Mexico with more technical ability, more flair, and then you have this kind of sophisticated soccer in the WSL where it's more of like a chess match. And then, now I'm coming to the WSL, which is kind of known to be athletic and more transitional. So I think the experience from Mexico and Chelsea just kind of make me more confident in my game, and that's kind of like the underlying thing as well, is that you go into these leagues and teams who know you but don't really know you, and you gotta kind of show them how you play and who you are as a person. So I think if anything, it just made me more confident from every jump, and now I have this more overwhelming confidence in myself from all that I've experienced overseas.
Leslie, for you, obviously, since you've been here, the club's been able to add players that are impacting the club now and ideally through the future, with Mia being the longest contracted player on the roster. Obviously, I'm sure there's more work you want to do. There will be more work as the years go on, but how happy are you with the sort of current players and the foundation that you're building for this club to not only succeed in this season, but for years to come?
Yeah, I look at it as the foundation that we're all building together. As you know, my time here at the club has been two different halves, if you will. The first half was a little bit of a challenge. The second half so far has been more exciting for me to be able to work together in alignment with Laura and with Adrian on the project itself, and with Maya. and and the trust that we're building in one another to go out and look at what it is we want to do with the Rein. One of my big things from the beginning was to keep the DNA of who and what this club has always been, and that's been with our veteran players, that many, with the retirement of Pino and Jess Fishlock still being on the roster, and Lou still being on the roster, and some other real veteran players. Adding Lynn as another leader. Sofia Huerta now has been someone that's been in the league a long time. This club is one in the uniqueness that the young players that have come into this club who have either trialed or been wooed by other clubs say that the experience here is different, and that is because of our veteran players. They come in and they feel a comfort level in being themselves. They feel a comfort level on the pitch, off the pitch, because it's a team that knows to win, it takes a team effort. And so we've quickly found ourselves in a position where 1 year out from signing a Jordan Bug, who's now had a cap with the full team, we're hopeful, and not taking all the credit because it's on Jordan, but we've put them in an environment, Laura's put them in an environment that is helping them thrive quickly. And our players, their teammates, are helping them thrive. And to me, I think that's the most exciting thing about this club at this moment, is we can see the progress, we can feel the energy and the culture building in a positive way. And I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm thrilled that Mia believed in that with us, and now she knows. And again, I'll go back to it. She wants it on her. So, she knows, as any player does, that at the end of the day, it's us putting them in the environment, supporting them in the right ways, listening to them, communicating on a daily basis as to what their needs are, but at the same time, letting them go and saying, okay, you're here, let's do this. And that to me is thrilling.
All right, and then we'll take Jada.
Laura, I wanted to ask the friendlies that you have later this month, are those possibilities for Mia to play in, or what kind of game plan do you have early on to see her on the field?
Yeah, I think it's a day-by-day decision. I think obviously we're conscious of the transition can always be challenging, coming back to a different club and getting acclimatized with everybody. And I think we're very conscious that we've got a big 12 weeks coming up after the friendlies, that we want to try and hit the ground running as quickly as we can, but we want to make sure that we have everybody as best fit and healthy as they possibly can be. And if that means getting Mia in the friendlies because she needs the minutes, then we'll do it. If we feel that it's a little bit too soon, we might not. But obviously we'll speak to the high performance staff and make sure that we're just on the right pathway, that we can get Mia in the best possible position to be able to play the most amount of minutes possible throughout this big 12-week stretch that we've got coming up.
And then Mia, you mentioned sparing. So sparing fish, like when is this, and how does that work?
So I was in Bermuda for vacations. Yeah, recently, a couple weeks ago, and my dad's out there building out a business right now with rental electric paddle boards. So I was gonna pop by there and see him, and I told him, I was like, when I get to Bermuda, you are teaching me how to spearfish. And it's just like this long spear, and it has like this stretchy band on the end of it. You just like cock it with your thumb, you just pull up and you just let go, and then it just wraps around your thumb. So yeah, that was fun. I didn't catch anything. And you know what? And it's like, but it's like, you're like a natural down there. Like I see you, some people you just know immediately, like, no, like this will not work out. But he's like, you look good down in the water, like diving. And I was mad because there was like this big fish just like chilling. He was eating like the food on the sand. And I was like, oh yeah, perfect. Like I'm gonna go up and just spear it. My dad goes and dives, just like hits it. I'm like, Dad, like let me have the kill, like please. Like I was so upset about it. But no, it was very fun. I can't wait to do it again.
What's the biggest fish that you killed?
I've caught I want to say like a 67-pound bluefin tuna in California. Yeah.
You and Shay are going to be great.
Yeah.
Great.
Mel, go ahead.
Yeah, speaking from someone who's born and raised in the Northwest and is from one of the members of the Royal Guard, we just really want to welcome you. We have a huge fan base. We have this amazing new theme song, and I know that you're going to feel amazing that first time walking out on our field. And with being from the Northwest, make sure you look up Washington Trails Association and get hiking.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Lee, we'll take one from Lee here, and then Susie.
Anything you want to say directly to the fans?
I mean, I just say that I'm really excited to be here. I'm so excited to be on this amazing team. I can't wait to entertain you all at Lumen Field and on the TV, and let's just get a championship.
And I think, Susie, did you have one? Or no? Well, we'll take one more from Susie. Turn the mic over.
Laura talked about off the field, and not only are you a soccer player and a fisher, fishing, but you also just published a children's book, and I'm wondering if you can talk about the inspiration behind that and what the reception's been like, and if there's more in the works.
Yeah, Big Fish was, I started writing it. Now, it was like right after UCLA, kind of after when I decided to go to Tigres, and just kind of all of the ups and downs that came with that decision. And I'm the type of person to always want to bring people up with me. I love to inspire. I feel like it's a responsibility, whether we like it as soccer players, because we don't know who's watching, we don't know who we're inspiring. And I definitely thought, like, okay, if I can make like this cool underwater fun like children's book, like I feel like that can easily like grab the attention of young readers, and especially, you know, people who follow my journey. And, you know, the book's about autonomy, and there's always options in life, and you always have to stay true to what's best for you, even though, you know, maybe other people don't like it or it's just not the right fit for you. And that book just kind of hints at that, you know, if you're confident in yourself and you know what you want, you go for it no matter what other people say.
Right, all good? Thanks, everyone. We'll